know, but to be honest, I don't remember much about school, right? Because of, well, because of Tipex, to be honest. Oh, that was great, weren't it? Tipex, like... Oh. These lessons are all right, yeah. I mean, sack Generation X, we were Generation Tipex. And you'd sneeze on your homework and 4 pages would disappear.
My dad tried to push me towards sports as a kid. You know, he'd be watching, like, the FA Cup final and say, Alan, that's my dream to see you at Wembley. Went and saw Steps. What more does he want?
But she was very overprotective as well, my mum. Extremely, extremely overprotective. I wasn't allowed on all those educational school outings, you know, the Science Museum, the Tower of London, Legoland. None. I used to say to my mum, Mum, please let me go on these outings. We'll be back the same day. My mum would bring out a scrapbook with newspaper cuttings of coach and train crashes. And she'd say, you see these children? You see them? You see them? They are dead because they didn't listen to their parents.
I've just come back from home, right? I've had a great time because my dad has started growing a scrape over. It's brilliant, right? Because his parting used to start about here. It now begins about there, right? And he's combing up back hair to increase the illusion. It's brilliant. Sometimes he stands next to ladies with long hair in high winds and borrows their hair, just scrapes it across.
I grew up in Watford and my parents chose to settle in Watford because they'd read a survey that said that Watford was the ideal place to raise a family, but only if you really hate children.
My mom's in a wheelchair. She has multiple sclerosis. She's been in a wheelchair for 18 years now. And I love my mom, don't get me wrong. And every time I go to visit her, I always steal her handicap tag that goes on the dashboard of the car. These are great, because you can get that front row parking place at the grocery store. I'm like in, I'm out, I never lose my car. Of course, people are screaming at me. They're like, hey, buddy, you're not handicapped. I'm like, no, but my mom is, and she needs this beer.
My dad was a very cruel man, but he tempered it with sadism.
Since I moved out of home, my mum's got this exciting new life, because whenever I try and ring her, she's just not in, and I'm really jealous. So what I've decided is to make it my mission just to tell as many people as possible how to piss her off, you know, just to get back at her. And there's 4 main ways to do that. The first one of these is quite simple, really, and that's crumbs. If you're making some food, she'll be like, use a use it, and you can be like, yes, I'm going to use a plate. And then you don't, and you take it into the living room anyway, and you eat it on the sofa. It makes her mad.
My mother always said to me, if you masturbate, you'll go blind. She caught me one day and wanted to disappear. She said, if you continue to do that, you're going to get warts on the palm of your hand. I said, Mum, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be blind. I'm not going to have to look at them.
I'm wondering at what age your parents stopped treating you like an imbecile. Now, I rang my dad up the other day, and you've got to bear in mind that I've been to college, proper college, because I'm not as thick as my accent might suggest. And I rang my dad up right, and I said to him, Dad, I'm thinking about buying a houseboat. And my dad actually said to me, don't buy one with a hole in it.
And the second one, refusal to cover microwave food. Because the microwave's a little bit shielded, you can't really see what's inside. So may I recommend beans or mince, because they spit a lot.
You see, now, I haven't got a very strong Birmingham accent. If you've spent any time in Birmingham, this is very mild. And I think it's partly because my mum is actually from Ireland. And she's lovely. She's lovely. I'll do a quick description of her, right? She's very, very small. Yeah, very thin. Very frightened. She's frightened. She's frightened of lots of things, OK? But the main thing that frightens her is escalators. I know. And she rings me up. She brings me up in London and we have lovely little conversations. She'd be like, hello. Hello. I'd be like, hiya, Mum. She'd be like, how's London? I'm like, fine, thanks. I haven't checked everywhere. Have you got a boyfriend? Yet? I'm like, yes, I have. What's he like? Well, he's an alcoholic who beats me, takes all my money. She's like, well, what, she doesn't get you on one of those escalators.
Somebody sent me a card today. It said, Dear Ange, I've finally come to realise that life is nothing more than a long, slow and disappointing death. Happy birthday. That's a love. Mum and Dad? Oh, that nice. They found out where I live.
As me old dad used to say, you've got to be cruel to inflict lasting psychological damage.
See, I don't know if it's just a northern thing, right, but when you get to about 8 in the north, your dad just assumes that you're gay one day. You know, if you can't fit a boiler or something. It's like, come on, come and fit this boiler with me. Like, no, Dad, I'm playing with my Action Man. So you're gay, that's your trouble. It's like, I'm not. If I was gay, I'd have better hair and I'd dress nicely.
The third one is a little bit more complicated, and that is the refusal to do a twirl, right? If you've bought some new clothes, or she thinks you lost a bit of weight or something, she'll be a bit like, go on, give me a twirl, give me a fashion parade. And you have to stand your ground. It's quite hard. You have to say, no, you know I don't like it when you make me parade about. You know, and she'll keep asking you, but if you hold your ground, it makes her mad.
I hate Jews. Not all Jews, just my parents, Harriet and Murray Schaffer. 9 Essex Road, Great Neck, New York, 11023, United States of America. I married my wife because she didn't hate Jews. She's Scottish. She's too busy hating the English.
My mom will ring me up. She'll ring me up. Gina, I just need a bit of cash, not much, just to tide me over. Not much, just £2,000. What do you mean you don't have it? Can't you sell your car? Do you know what sacrifices I made for you? NASA wanted me. NASA! I could have been an astronaut, but I'm here because of you. You. How much have you got?
My dad sent me boxing to toughen me up. But it was a nightmare, because I'd be there boxing. I got my new gloves and everything, but so I wouldn't lose them. My mum made me wear them like idiot mittens, you know, on a bit of elastic. Oh, it was terrible. Every time I threw a punch, I'd smack myself in the face.
And why is it that dads are the only people allowed in the loft? Can I come in the loft, Dad? No, Susan. Why not? Because you'll fall through the ceiling. You're 3 times my weight.
My mum would send me to sleep with one of those lovely lullabies, you know, like rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will fall baby, cradle and all. You know, I'd be lying there going, right, next verse, please, where it all resolves itself. It should be going, oh, sorry, I'll do a nursery rhyme instead. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. I'm going, right, so he's either dead or permanently disabled. Thanks, Mum, I'll sleep so much better now. Oh, sorry, I'll do you one last song. London's burning, London's burning. I mean, that's where we live, just get out!
But they're very similar, Irish mothers in their 70s. They've all got very similar traits, like they're often very frightened of electricity, you know. Unplug it, Josephine, now unplug it, I can't, rest, unplug it now, the whole house will go up. I'm like, Mum, it's a kettle. And they never ever think you're warm enough either. Like, put a vest on under that now, you'll perish with the cold. Put a vest on, I can't rest, put a vest on. Mum, it's a bikini. Please, don't lose me the few friends I have left.
My mum was dead nice, though. You know. She was like, she'd always put something under my pillow to help me sleep at night. My face, usually.
I asked my friend how her new relationship was going, in particular, her sex life. She said it wasn't going too well. It was nothing to write home about. I mean, when would you ever do that? Unless you're me, can I just run this by you? I shall be sending this tomorrow. Dear Mum and Dad, things here in London are good. Very good, in fact. Why, only last night, Steve made me orgasm 7 times. 3 of which were induced orally. I could hardly walk this morning, so I spent the best part of the day on my knees. Managed to locate Steve's G-spot last Sunday, so apologies for not making it to dinner on time. And you'll be pleased to know that me and Steve have found a use for that soda stream that you and Dad bought us last Christmas, although the use that we found would not be covered by the guarantee.
Mother always said, if you haven't got anything nice to say, fuck off.
I went home to visit my mom recently, and her parents crack me up, especially the way a mother can never tell you what she's thinking. Instead, she always tries to encrypt it into the conversation so that somehow you'll get the point. Growing up, we always had cliffs by my house. Whenever we'd go, me and my brother, We'd tell my mom and she'd react by saying, okay, well, you kids have fun up there at those cliffs, but just you remember that 2 people die up there every year, and nobody's died yet this year.
I hate Jews. Did I say that? My father's a Jew. He's just like the British. It's always World War II to the Jews. World War II. My father used to complain. He used to tell me how hard it was to be a Jew during World War II, how he had to hide from the Nazis in a basement in Brooklyn. I know what you're thinking. I don't look old enough to have a father who was in World War II. Well, my father is old. He's old. He's so old that when he says he's got to go pee, he's already peeing.
The fourth one, this is probably the most complicated, and that's Scottish accent. If you're in the car with her, say she's taking you to my mate Lidge's house, but I don't know why she'd be doing that because I don't really know her anymore, but like, you just pretend you're meeting me at Lidge's house and then she won't think it's weird. But like, you'll be in the car together and then she'll say, so where are we going then? Are we going to Lidge's house? And if you say to her, yes, that's where we're going, and she'll be like, we're not going to go anywhere if you keep up this accent. And this is the clever bit. You have to go, what accent is that, mother? It makes her mad.
You know, that Philip Larkin, he was right. They fuck you up, your mum and dad. Mind you, not too long before you can get your own back and push them into an old people's home, eh? Eh? Boots on the other foot now.
I was actually pretty clever at school. I remember one parents' evening where one of the teachers said to my mum, Miss Ashere, your daughter... I'm doing a fucking Nigerian accent for the teacher. I was actually pretty clever at school. I remember one parents' evening where one of the teachers said to my mum, Miss Ashere, your daughter Gina's done extremely well in her exam this year. She got 98%. My mum looked at me, looked at the teacher, looked at me and said, Gina, what happened to the other 2%?
I love Britain, because women here don't think that I'm gay. They think I'm just a middle-class twat. Back home in America, everybody thought that I was gay, because I'm good-looking. That's what happens when you're good-looking. People think you're gay. I remember when I was a little boy, if you can picture this, little Louis Schaffer, cute little 6-year-old boy. I'm at the beach with my family, hot, hot summer day. Kids would chase after me. They'd kick sand on my blazer. They'd say, Louis Schaffer's gay. Louis Schaffer's gay. 6 years old. And I didn't know why they were saying this about me. I remember asking my mommies, my 2 mommies, why are they saying I'm gay? And they comforted me. They said, Princess, they're just jealous of you because you have the Barbie camper and those guys don't.
She's not very affectionate, my mum. I remember the one time in my life my mum kissed me. I was 21 and I was leaving home. She was like, bye! Don't forget to write the checks.